Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Ben Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. I hope y'all been having a good week, thus far. Surviving out in the heat, or whatever you are. Just trying to survive the work week, whatever. But it is what it is. But I wanted to get down to these stories here of both of these guys right now, so we're gonna get down to it. So the first story that came out earlier this afternoon that Chris Paul unfortunately, tested positive for COVID-19, and now he's going to be under COVID-19 protocol. And so he's going to be out indefinitely, for a long period of time. And it's an unfortunate situation because you know the Suns have just punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2010, and they've had a magical season to say the least. But now that he's not going to be out for this long period of time, hopefully it's probably be 2 weeks or something like that. We don't know, but you know it's a very unfortunate situation because they're having this great postseason run, and he's 36 years old, and his opportunities of a championship are not are slowly being diminished, and this happens. It's like every time something good happens for Chris Paul, something gets in the way, whether it was injury or unfortunate loss of momentum during their playoff runs. You know what I mean? It's just something with Chris Paul that's something that just unfortunately it always gets in the way. And so hopefully that he makes a full recovery, and and I've seen a lot of people that are saying that the Phoenix Suns are done now that that Chris Paul's out. Listen, I'm not gonna say that at all. I think that, to me, this is just my opinion alone, that you know that the Phoenix Suns are going to rise to the occasion in the Western Conference Finals, whoever comes out of that series between Utah or the Clippers. And I think that we're going to see the best out of the Phoenix Suns, even without their leader Chris Paul. You know, they're obviously going to miss his presence out on the floor, but at the same time, you know, they're still talented enough to get the job done. And whoever comes out of that series between the Clippers and the Jazz, they're gonna have a real tough time ahead of themselves. Now, speaking of the Clippers, on the other hand, they're dealing with another death blow on their hands because Kawhi Leonard is now out for the remainder of the postseason after tearing his ACL in Game 4 against the Utah Jazz. Initially the report was that he basically sprained his what is it, his left knee or right knee or something like that. I'm not sure. I just got to check on it real quick, real quick. Right knee, right knee. And so initially it was basically a knee strain, but then the reports came out that it was a legitimate torn ACL injury. And so now with that, being said, you know, with the worst fears now being realized, now it's just adds another complexing situation for the Clippers. Like it feels like every time the Clippers got something going for themselves, it's always something that gets in the way of that. And you dating back to that time when they blew the 3-1 lead against the Houston Rockets in 2015 when they were original Lob City. Or you could go back to a year ago when they blew the 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets. It's like everything can go wrong for the Clippers has gone wrong. And it's just a sad, unfortunate situation because, Kawhi Leonard is basically the best player on the team. It's not Paul George. It's definitely Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard has been the most consistent performer in these playoffs. And now that he's gone for the entire playoffs, and we don't know what's going to happen for him next season, he could probably miss some months, during the regular season as he's going through his rehab, process. Now it's going to pretty much put a log into things in terms of the Clippers, in terms of their championship aspirations. I mean, you can't replace 25 points and 10 rebounds a game in the playoffs with Kawhi Leonard. You can't replace that. And so I just think now that with that in their laps, I think that now the Utah Jazz have a better opportunity now to retake control of the series and end it in 6 games. And so they are even dealing with their own injury issues too, because remember, Mike Conley hasn't played in the entire series, with the groin injury, and then now Donovan Mitchell's got a sprained foot, which I think they'll be able to be all right. They'll be basically recover from. So I'll tell you, these playoffs has been real wild. There's been a lot of injuries that are really affecting the outcomes of series right now, and they're playing tonight. The Clippers and the Jazz are playing tonight, and so we're gonna see how the Clippers, try to, overcome this unfortunate circumstance of Kawhi Leonard. And the only bright side for the Phoenix Suns in this case is that they got some time to rest and get prepared to play the rest of the series without their leader. But it's still an unfortunate thing for Chris Paul that he's got to deal with. With the illness of COVID-19. You know what I mean? But I wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully can recover from this, and hopefully he can get back in time. The protocol, for the NBAs, they always say, you know, you know, the player has to sit out indefinitely, but the the rule on the safety protocol for the NBA, if you look back in terms of their protocol, you know, any player, any player who tested positive, even asymptomatic, will not be allowed to for a minimum of 10 days, and then must be monitored in individual workout for at least additional 2 more days. So therefore, I believe that he's going to be probably out for at least about a week and a half to 2 weeks, and even if he's approved to play, it's going to be an issue about if he's going to be rusty, or is he going to have his steps back or whatever. Sitting out all those 2 weeks just recovering from the illness, and so he's going to be stuck in isolation for 2 weeks, and it's just going to I'm sure it's going to rattle his mind because you're trying to lead your team to a championship, and it's right in front of you, and now something like this happens, and it's now slowly gripping out of your hands. So I do believe that the Phoenix Suns will try to rise to the occasion and basically get the job done for their leader Chris Paul. For the Clippers, on the other hand, I think this is over now. I think the series is over now. Starting tonight, and I think that now there's going to be some major questions about Kawhi Leonard. Is he going to stay long term with the Clippers because he has a player option deal in his contract as well? So is he going to stay long term? With the Clippers? Is he thinking about going elsewhere? You know, all these questions are certainly going to be in the realms. You know, as the off season goes on, and obviously when next year comes around. What I'm saying, but you know, I think that he'll probably stay in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? I don't see him going to Miami, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong and think that he might go elsewhere. But but it is what it is. But much love to both of those players. Wish them nothing but the best. What I'm saying, and hopefully they can recover what they're going through. Especially for Chris Paul, wish you a nice speedy recovery. And as for Kawhi Leonard, wish you nothing but a speedy recovery in terms of your rehab stint to get your knee back into place. I'm telling you, those knee injuries can be very tricky to deal with. So I know that from experience. So, but it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.